There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Tom, for that, as always, really useful introduction to the Ceph building blocks. As Tom mentioned, I'm head of training for the E-ARK building block. And today I'd like to extend my welcome to what is the fourth of our training webinars. But before we start today, I thought I'd say a few words about the e-archiving building block. So we started back in late 2018, and the building block, it provides a set of specifications and tools for transmitting, describing and preserving digital data, all of which can be found on the building block website, the URL of which can be seen on the screen in front of you. And don't worry if you miss it, the slides will be put up online later, so you can grab this URL if you wish. So what do we do? Well, we provide a variety of e-archiving services. We maintain technical specifications. Tom talked about specifications earlier. In our particular case, the core specification is the common specification for information packages. And our very first webinar was an introduction to that specific specification. We also provide open source tools that you can download and use right away. We have compliance and validation services that ensure that specifications are followed. We have a service desk. We're developing a training offering of which this is part. We have outreach and community engagement activities of which this is also a part. And all of this revolves around data preservation, reuse, migration, and trust. So, as I said, today's webinar is part of the e-archiving building blocks training offer. And our training is based on actual user requirements. We pride ourselves on listening to the community, and one of the most important tools that we use to try and understand the community's needs is our user needs survey. So, if you happen to be listening today and you've not completed this survey, then please have a look at it, and if you can, fill it in. It is a critical tool for us for understanding what training the community actually needs and what we need to do to accommodate it. From your perspective, it gives you an opportunity to influence the kind of training that's provided. And in fact, this very webinar is in part a response to the requests that came in through the questionnaire that asked for higher level training that focused on, amongst other things, process. So our training is not all about drilling down into menus. It's much broader than that. So this questionnaire is really important. Is the content still on screen? Can you see anything? I seem to have lost it.
No.
No. Okay.
No, sorry, Jamie.
Oh, it's gone. Okay, well, don't worry. I can just talk through this. We don't need slides. So in terms of our core training, it's going to be delivered in the form of webinars like this one, video-based training, training modules in the form of Moodle modules. And the content will include things like the core specification, which, as I said, is the common specification for information packages. We'll also look at some of our key content information type specifications, so things like database and geospatial data. We'll look at validation and compliance. We'll look at end-to-end e-archiving systems such as RODA and ESS-ARK. So we've already done a 3-hour session on ESS-ARK, and next month, we'll be doing a session on RODA. We'll also be looking at database preservation tools. So our next webinar will be on Thursday, the 30th of June. And there we will look at RODA, which is an end-to-end solution for digital preservation. So, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. The webinars are part of a broader range of outreach activities that include things like workshops, presentations at conferences, though obviously at the moment there's not a lot going on in terms of conferences and workshops, but as soon as they resume, so will we. We've got a LinkedIn group, we've got a Twitter handle, and those will all be on the slides. And, you know, if you, let's come back. If you wish, please feel free to sign up to those. So that leaves me with the final task for me today.